Saturday, get your first look at Jeff Brum's Boilermakers. Live coverage of the spring Purdue game kicks off Saturday at noon Eastern, then at 2 p.m. Huskers take the field at Memorial Stadium for the annual Red-White game following. Live coverage of that kicks off at 2 Eastern on Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Big stat of the day comes from Wisconsin's Pro Day. And these aren't just stats. These are eye-popping numbers put up by Badger safety Scott Nelson. You look at all of these numbers, they would have been among, if not the best, among all safeties who were down in Indianapolis for the NFL Combine. No doubt a huge boost to Nelson's NFL draft stock. And with that in mind, we welcome Scott Nelson into the show. Scott, I guess first and foremost, what do you think you proved to all those NFL scouts and GMs who were in attendance during Pro Day?
Yeah, I just wanted to go out there and prove my athleticism and kind of show the kind of athlete that I am and that I've known I was throughout my life and my career at Wisconsin, and just kind of put it on display. And it was fun. It was fun to be back out there with the guys and back in Madison and with the whole staff watching. So it was a great day. It was a great day for everyone, honestly, for the whole class that was out there during Pro Day.
Yeah, I know Fayon had a huge day as well. And I know that athletes in general know their limitations and their abilities. But those numbers, as I mentioned, match up with the best and surpass some of the best that we saw from your position group in Indianapolis. Did you know that those numbers, did you feel like those specific numbers were possible for you on that day?
Definitely for a few of them. I wanted to run in the 4.4s for my 40, and I wanted to jump really well, both vert and broad, and then the rest of it I was pretty confident in. So to be able to go out there and put those numbers up consistently throughout the whole day, and I had a personal best and honestly a lot of those drills. So overall, it was a great day. I was smiling ear to ear from the moment it started to the moment it finished. So I had no complaints at all, and I was very, very happy.
Yeah, we just saw your reaction after the nearly 40-inch vert, 39 and a half, and you give a big clap because you knew really how important that was. What was the reaction like after those numbers started to come in from the rest of your teammates who I know you guys are following each other throughout that day as well?
Yeah, definitely. They were so supportive. You can kind of see my mom took a couple of videos from the sideline, and you could see just some of my really close friends and their reactions to stuff I did, and just the genuine care and desire for me to do my best while also competing and doing their best was something that kind of summed up my career at Wisconsin and the friendships I made. You see how bad those guys want it for you, and both the guys that are participating in Pro Day and the rest of the whole team who was there skipping class and doing whatever they could to be there to support the guys. So it was incredible. Like, just the whole experience, obviously going to it for multiple years, you get an idea of how it's going to be like, but finally being out there and doing it and having everybody there, it was something else for sure.
I went back and read the draft reviews and previews of the safety position that were done a month, 6 weeks ago. And when we get to Scott Nelson, almost every quote-unquote draft expert said the biggest question is his athleticism. Yet these numbers completely blow that out of the water, that theory was not accurate. So why do you believe that your athleticism was in question?
I'm not too sure. I guess I didn't make as many plays as I would have liked to make in my career, and left a few out there, but I think it's just kind of being able to watch the film, and I think my strength is still my football IQ and my knowledge of the game, but being able to kind of put this on display and kind of makes people take a second look at me, which is, I was talking to Coach Leonard, and that's the biggest thing right now is make people go back and watch your film and make people call him and ask his opinion, because he is a very, very validated word and opinion these days. So it was kind of just whatever. I mean, no, don't worry about that as much, but just go out there and do what you know you can do. And when teams call, just go out there and do your best for sure.
What is Coach Leonard's impact to be able to be coached by a guy who did it at that level for as long as he did and now has coached at the level that he's coached at in Wisconsin? What has he meant to your growth, development, and your future at the next level?
It's really inexplainable. Coming in, and I'm pretty sure we were his first recruiting class. He got the job, and I really didn't. Nobody really knew the kind of coach he was going to be, and I love getting to know him through recruiting. And when I got there, he treated everyone like he didn't treat, obviously being a walk-on, he didn't treat walk-ons any differently than he did scholarship guys. So you can kind of tell he cared about the best players, and he wanted to make everybody the best player they could be. And if you wanted that and desired that, he was going to help you reach that. So from an early time there, we kind of had a little connection. I was like, hey, like, I'm trying to do this here. And he was all for it. He wanted me to do as much as I could and the best that I could. And I tried to be around him as much as I could, learning from him, just hearing him talk to other coaches, the scheme stuff, trying to learn as much football knowledge as I can from a guy like that. It was incredible. So I was trying to be up in his office pretty much every day for the past 4 years. And we still talk. I was down in Tampa training for the pro day, and he came down. He was recruiting. So just being able to see him then after kind of everything, after the season, and his knowledge is so off the charts from pretty much anybody I've ever encountered when it comes to football throughout my life playing. And like I said, his word is so looked upon when it comes to the next level, and people really take his word as truth. So he knows the type of player that I have been for the past 4 years or so. And I really trust his word more than anybody on Twitter or anything like that. Any of these experts, I'll trust his opinion over all of theirs.
I think that's pretty smart, and I can completely agree with what you said. I've been lucky enough over the past 3 or 4 years to be on the sidelines for a bunch of Wisconsin games. We meet with the coaches beforehand, and when Coach Leonard is talking to myself or the play-by-play guy, he's explaining football in a very nice and common way, and then he starts to talk to James Laurinaitis or one of the other analysts, and they get into football mode, and so much of that stuff, as much football as I think I know, it is just so far over my head, he's forgotten more than most of us will ever know. All right, Scott, but before we let you go, I do want to know, when it comes down to pro day, and now it's the focus is on the draft, you're not as worried about the team, you're not as worried about the results of the Wisconsin team because that is done. How is it different when the pressure is all on you as an individual?
It's kind of in a different position. We were kind of saying that throughout pro day training is we're not really a team anymore. I mean, we had guys from kind of all over Arkansas and Old Dominion. We're kind of the top two, but we're not really a team anymore, and it's kind of just up to you. So if you want to cheat the workout, it's only hurting yourself, and you can't really blame anybody else. And it's kind of all the pressure's on you. And as an athlete playing different sports growing up, that's kind of a different feel. I played baseball, basketball, football, and all team sports, very few where it's just you. But now it's, okay, all that work you've done, all the time you've put in, the film sessions, the off-season training, spring ball, all that stuff's now for this point for you to make a team. And just go out there and just do what you can. Trust your technique, trust everything you've done over the past, 4 years, going back to high school. And put the pressure on yourself and put yourself in those situations where you have to make plays. And that's where it's fun. That's where you can thrive in those situations as an athlete and as a competitor and stand out.
So, Scott, where are you going to be? What are you going to be doing on draft night?
That's a great question. I'm still trying to figure that out, still talking to my family and trying to figure out what the best scenario is. We probably won't do too much, maybe just have some dinner somewhere, come back here and just hang out. But really the most important thing is just kind of being with them, being with my closest people and just spending that time with them.
We can't wait to watch. Can't wait to hear your name called. Congratulations on the outstanding pro day number, really on an outstanding career with Wisconsin. Wish you the best of luck, not just over the draft weekend, but at the next level.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All right, great stuff from Wisconsin safety Scott Nelson. When we come back, we got Big Ten pucks on tap. Paul Caponigri here before he heads to Boston for this week's Frozen Four. We'll get Cappy's take on the Thursday semifinal showdowns for both Michigan and Minnesota.